Hi everyone, I'm First Class Emily Lamphere, and we are back here with the Midshipman Minute. The Midshipman Minute is a bi-weekly program we do on here with different topics every other 2 weeks to teach you guys about what goes on here at USNA. This week's topic was highly requested. We're talking about fourth class year. So we have fourth class Win and class Stringer here to tell you guys about Plebe Year. So guys, go ahead and introduce yourselves. Tell us everyone about yourselves.
Hi everyone, I'm fourth class Jennifer Wynn, Wake Forest, North Carolina, and I'm in 17th Company.
Hi everyone, I'm Midshipman Fourth Class Caitlin Stringer from Nevada, also from 17th Company.
So we have some questions here that you guys sent in earlier today. One is, what was your path from high school to USNA like?
So when I was in high school, I was in Army JROTC. So I was kind of like already introduced a little bit into the military lifestyle, but I had the service academies. So I was introduced to the concept. Sophomore year, I went to it, and I found the Naval Academy, went to a Canada weekend, fell in love with the place, the classes, people, the campus in general, and here I am.
Mine was a relatively easy path. I had a cousin who graduated in 2002, so that introduced me to the academy pretty early on. So from freshman to senior year, I had my sights set on either the academy or the Naval Academy. I didn't have Navy JROTC or Army JROTC experience, so that definitely wasn't needed. But I also came to Candidate Visit Weekend and Seminar, and through those two programs, I absolutely fell in love with this place.
That's so funny. You guys completely different paths.
Yeah.
What was the transition like from high school to US? What you expected it to be?
I think the transition was like completely like in like one of a kind, definitely. Like stories from like other people about like boot camp and stuff, and like plebe summer was definitely like in like always like train on and stuff. But
What's plebe summer?
Oh, so plebe summer is about a 6.5 week period before academic year starts, where so like freshmen, I guess what we are, so plebes, go to the academy and then spend their time here. We learn how to become a midshipman before we actually join the brigade. And so it's just 6.5 weeks training. We do like physical activity every day, and like a bunch of like cool different rules that we have.
I would say plebe summer is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, whether going through it for the first time or the second time as a detailer. Those are upper class who will train the classes and the plebes to get ready to be a midshipman in brigade. That is definitely a good training experience to learn to follow, but also be a leader within your peers. And so that was a big culture shock coming from high school where you're normally the top of your class and you know how to lead, to now being surrounded by peers who are just as good as not, if not better than you, and learning in that environment as well.
Yeah, I feel like that really like pushed me Plebe Year, being surrounded by people like such high caliber people. All right, the next question is, what is the academy? What you expected it to be so far?
Honestly, so I had high expectations for the academy, but honestly, like when I got here and I was in here like as like a person, it's so much different than hearing it from other people, because I've talked to like grads and like people who go here, and they talk about it and they speak like highly of it. And when you get here at first, you're like, oh, it's just like college, but like you get to know the people, you get to like experience new things, opportunities that you would never do in a regular college at home. And like I think the big stress of the plebe summer is like you're gonna make great relationships with like the people. At first, when you're 2 weeks in, you barely know anybody. No one's like from where you are, and you just like take the hardships, and that's how you bond. And also like with the upperclassmen, they kind of like can relate to you, so everybody kind of like bonds and get to like meet everybody. It's just like a really cool experience. I never thought meeting new people would be like that.
It is. I know that for plebe summer or just in general at the academy, we all go through similar experiences that nobody else in the world can relate to. So you're instantly connected by that, whether you're alumni, a plebe, or even an upper. There's certain things that you can laugh about and then even compare. I know for as far as the academy is concerned, from the outside perspective, I had a very high outlook on it. And then when you come here, you realize that we are just normal that have come together and are achieving an excellent goal. And so it was kind of a good realization for me to realize that we're not angels. We are definitely human still here.
So speaking on like the shared experiences that all like Plebes midshipmen alumni have gone through, can you speak to some of the rules that you guys Plebe Year or some of the things that you have to do throughout the academic year?
So one of the things that we do in Bancroft, I've seen like a lot of alumni ask is like we still chop the hallway or the P-ways, which is what we call hallways here. So chop is like basically jogging through a hallway. So Bancroft is obviously like the biggest dormitory in the world. It has like 5 miles of hallway, and so to get to where we need to go to class, rooms, maybe like our friend's room, or even to like to the bathroom. During the day, we have to kind of like jog through the hallway. So that's always fun.
We also get to do things like squaring your corners. So you're in the middle of the hallway at all times, greeting every upper class that walks by with sir or ma'am and their name. And then squaring corners is every time you want to turn, even lightly, you are squaring it in a 90-degree angle every single time. And sir, go Navy, sir, every single time. So it's a good experience. It becomes second at some points. I know that you don't have to chop outside of bank hall. So when you're outside, you're not running around squaring your corners. And even in the basement, we got ourselves a few times, but you don't have to do it in the basement.
It's just such a habit.
It is. And so many things over Plebe Year just become sort of natural to you that you don't even realize you're doing it anymore. Plebe Year cover, which I have my cover with me. It's just take a hand and you have to hold it like this. It's a specific way, but it teaches you discipline. There's things such as come-arounds, and we have those for pro-knowledge, which teach you about knowledge not only of just the military, but also out in the fleet. So the different selection areas so that you're knowledgeable about it before going on your youngster cruise, which is either a surface warfare or a submarine cruise going into your 3rd class year. And you get to do come-arounds with your upper class, 1 youngster, 1 second class, and 1 first class, where they can see you and mentor you for that upcoming week. And that's where responsibility is as well.
So Plebe Year, obviously very stressful in the hall. There's a lot of rules that you guys have to do. You joined any ECAs to kind of like get away from Bancroft at times and just kind of go to a hobby that you like, be around different people?
Yeah, so one of my favorites is the silent drill team. It's definitely a great group of people. So we practice outside, we spin our rifles and stuff. And I am part of like a lot of the culture clubs. So like Chinese Culture Club, Korean American Midshipmen Association, East American Club. So what they do, you kind of like get a taste of like the culture. And I'm half Korean and half Vietnamese. So I kind of get like some home here at the academy that you like usually don't see like at a lot of other colleges. You get to try a lot of food, meet new people, especially with classmen and even plebes in the same class. It's just a great bonding opportunity over something that's a part of you.
And as for myself, I'm the swing dance club, something I never thought that I would join before I'm here. But it's a great experience to meet new people outside of your company as well. And then just that social jump, because I know for a lot of my classmates, including myself, I was really shy before coming here, and that has definitely helped. I'm also part of the Catholic Club, and so keeping up with religious differences is definitely something that can slip out of your grasp when you're dealing with all your responsibilities. So at that club as well. And all of the midshipmen here are athletes, so I participate in the combat team for Taekwondo, and so we travel and face all the other colleges that you see normally playing. So,
all right, so more on the academic side, tell us about some of the classes that you have to take Plebe Year and just want to major in, if you've decided yet or thought about it at all.
So there's a lot of classes that we have to take year. So I think the mandatory for plebes are one that I never thought I would take, which is cyber. I really like cyber. Really cool. You get to learn coding if like you have a. I know like I haven't had experience with it. It's a really good introductory class to get you into it. You always have to take a math, so you can have like Calc 2, 3. I know there's like one like pre-calc version of that. There's Plebe Chem, so that's an interesting one. Everybody hard time with it, but the EI or the extra instruction here with like the professors, they're always you. We have company tutors, so like upperclassmen who will like volunteer time to help plebes out in like specific classes. They're a great resource. And then there's an study group program, it's MGSP. That's also a really great program. Upperclassmen like kind of like rent out a classroom, and underclass or plebes can go in and just get help in a group setting. So classes, if you want to explain the rest.
We also have to take naval history. Every midshipman understands not only where we've come from, but to better understand the history, we can more shape her. I know we have to take government, is just all-around class, and CNAV, which is the basic fundamentals of navigation for those aspects, including leadership classes. So I know that it's not only a plebe hard class, but also as you go up through the ranks, you continue to take leadership classes.
So there's also PE classes. So this fall semester, we have to take 8 weeks of boxing class and 8 weeks of wrestling. So those are definitely cool. It's like one period out of the week, and that goes towards our PE grades. And then so the spring semester we'll take plebe swim. And so I'm
also a fun one. Yeah. They're challenging, but they're fun. So back to more other plebe stuff in the hall. Can you tell us what chow calls are and what your favorite King Hall meal is?
Ooh. So chow calls are basically a thing that plebes do. So we have to stand out in the peeways or the hallways on plates. So there's like little metal squares in the middle of the hallways where we can square our corners. So we stand around those, spread around the company area, and we basically shout out what the uniform of the day is, when and where formation is, what the coming meal is, who the officer of the watch is, and like upcoming events for the day. And we do this every minute on the minute, usually 15 minutes before action happens. And this is kind of like just to let everybody know, just prepare everybody for the formation and what they're gonna eat. My favorite King meal, I'd say, I don't know. I really like bacon, scrambled eggs, and breakfast potatoes for breakfast. Always a great way to start your day.
I know she covered chow calls really well. My meal is Taco Tuesday. I know coming to the East Coast from the West, unfortunately, there's not a good Mexican food over here. So that's the closest thing I can get to home. So that's probably my meal.
Okay. Is there anything you guys will miss about Plebe Year next year when you're youngsters?
I definitely will miss the opportunity to just be like the spirit of aid. Everybody is kind of focused on you and both and sometimes about it. But as far as Air Force versus Navy and Army versus Navy weeks, it's an entire week dedicated to plebes are allowed to prank upper class and they are allowed to hunt. So I know that our very first experience with this was Air Force Week, and it was like the purge. Sunday night, the purge alarm. I wasn't expecting anything to really happen, and next thing I know, I'm cut in mustard and ketchup from another plebe company. So you definitely get to have fun here and let sometimes. And then it's also a big stress reliever, plebe versus upper class relationships.
I don't know. The thing I'll probably miss most of the year is just like the newness of everything, I guess, because I hope I'm motivated and like passionate about this place, but it's just like the excitement, because like every day is kind of like a new day, and you're still learning, not only like just like from the like surrounding stuff and things that you go through, but also like from the upper class there to guide you. And I think, you know, just like being able to like get ready to tackle the day, and you just never know what's coming up, could here for 4 months, you know, I think that's kind of something I'll miss, because I'll get used to it a little bit.
All right, and this is our last question. If you guys could give your high school self any advice about USNA?
Ooh. I was definitely very, very, very like anxious and nervous before coming here, because I've heard so many different stories about plebe summer. Like, I started counting down to plebe summer and be like, oh, like 52 days till plebe summer. Oh my gosh. Like, oh, I have 13 more breakfasts until I can't eat breakfast like a normal person. So, I wish like I could have told myself to like relax a little bit. Like, it's definitely like challenging, and it will like to your limits definitely. But I'd tell myself to like be yourself, because like you know, like you're here for a reason. They chose you for a reason. They put you through anything that you can't do. So yeah, I think I'd tell myself that.
I think I'd have to go along the same lines of confidence, believing in yourself and believing that they chose you for a reason. But also, I think I would have myself to learn to love running. It is definitely something that if you don't love, then you'll just want to be able to survive. You're always running, and it doesn't stop during Plebe Year, because you don't even realize that by the end of the day, I have a fit watch. It tells me I've like burned 700 calories a day, and I'm like, what did I do? So yeah, the physical aspect of it, definitely prepare yourself. Also, everything matters and nothing matters. You are going to be able to get past Plebe Year, and it's not going to be the end of the world.
Yeah, definitely. Like, everyone messes up. Like, you, as perfect person coming out of high school, and you'll mess up during plebe summer. I promise you. But that's all the questions that we have. Like, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys for watching. Tune in again in 2 weeks for the next Midshipman Minute.